Alright guys, so, boy am I tired. As you can see, I got the 354 Hemi on the stand, so I figured it was going to be a quick, an hour at most. I've been out here for about 3 hours. And the reason why is I had to get the bell housing off and the flywheel. So normally a flywheel, bolts are on the back, there's zing, 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 flywheel comes off, and then you take your bell housing off. So it takes longer to get it hooked up, jacked up, and all that, and get it in place than it does to actually do the job. But in this case, on the back, and this stuff is too heavy for me to pick up right now to actually show you, but on the back of the engine, you have the bell housing, which I don't think you can see. I will point at it. I got it on the pallet. Got the bell housing, you got the flywheel. Now, to get the flywheel off, you got to take this half moon out at the bottom of the I can't think here. That's how tired I am. Of the bell housing. So you take that off, and I didn't want to lift this thing up. This thing is heavy as hell. Even though I got I believe it's a 1,500-pound crane above my head here, I still don't want to be underneath that or near it. God forbid it falls. Not only can, I get hurt, killed, or whatever, but I can do a lot of damage. So I just got to the point of where I could lay down alongside of it and just do one nut at a time. Once I got them all out, then I popped the starter off real quick. And it took a little doing to rocking it back and forth and, just playing with it until finally just went clunk. And amazingly, the nuts came off pretty easy, just that they're in a real bad spot. And you got to sit there and play with them and play with them. But finally, you get them all out. Getting the flywheel off was a little bit of a feat. You had to kind of rock it because those bolts are on there. I couldn't get the bolts to come out. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So once I got that out, then I was able to get the bell housing off. So at that point, then I started working on the stand. And the stand, of course, was not cooperative because these things aren't anything spectacular. It's a $100 stand. I'm not going to put the stand down. It actually is pretty good. But supposedly it's not supposed to fit this motor, but it did. The only thing that it didn't do, which is not a big deal, is it didn't go back and actually accept the dowel pin. But it doesn't matter. It's locked in the back. It's locked in the front at the motor mounts. And the very front has the cross member on the stand that stabilizes it, keeps it all sucked in, and I've been able to move it around, jockey it around, and it's not going to fall anywhere. It's on the stand. I'm going to order a set of wheels for it, so I left the chain on here so I could use my hoist to lift it again when I put the wheels under it. And this way it'll be mobile, and I don't have to eat up all of this in front of my garage here, because we need to get this lift in. So this week was really crazy at work, and I could not get the lift ramps here because it does require me to come here and unload them and do what I need to do to get them, at least in the driveway, and then on a Saturday push them in. Yesterday ended up being kind of busy in the morning, so I didn't do much of anything in here. I did put together some tools that I had purchased several years ago, kind of just building up things that I knew I would need as my projects progressed. So that was today's job there. So let's take a quick look at the bell housing. It's just the bell housing, not much to look at. But here's what I'm talking about in the bolts. Now, you see how this has got the bolts sticking out this way? That part actually goes against the crankshaft. So you have a small amount of room with this bell housing to get your wrench in there and just keep turning. And luckily they came off pretty easy. I'm surprised for like 75-year-old motor. And it came off pretty easy. Some stuff was actually loose. But I got it apart, and I did a quick cleanup because it was quite a mess. This motor's disgusting. But it'll come apart, and it's going to get a nice bath. And I kind of cleared up. I'm making you guys dizzy here. I kind of cleared up this area here. It's a mess right now. I got to clean up at the end of my video here. But let's look at some of the tools that I put together. So let's see here. Let's get it back a little so I can get everything into the frame a little more. So here's a couple of things that I purchased years ago. Kind of happy I purchased them years ago because they're actually, for a Harbor Freight tool, it's actually a better quality than the one they have today. So the bottom of my stand here is it's cast. I mean, it's not fantastic. Don't, let's not get crazy with something like that. But basically, it was easy to put together. It came with the stand. I think back then I paid $150 or $160, and I'm sure I had a crazy coupon to help me along. So I figured we needed one of those. So I went to the back and I went to my little shed I have out there on the deck, and I had this brand new in the box. And I put this together yesterday. Also, a couple things. I actually ordered another one of these, not realizing that I have one. It's a ring maker. I needed it for the rebar that I'm going to make the spider webs with, because after I do the crosses, I'm going to have to do the circles that start creating the web effect. So also I have, can you see these? Yeah, you can. I had a bunch of clamps for the milling machine, which is actually in the machine shop next door. And then I have this tool here, which is a bender. And I also purchased the scroll attachment. And again, I bought these things years ago. They were just sitting in boxes. And I have two additional tools back there. I have a hub sander, I believe it's called, or a drum sander. And I also have a compressor for my Eastwood powder coating kit. I'm tired, guys, so you got to excuse me. I have kind of loose thoughts here. That engine kind of beat me up, and also the heat, man, it's been hot here. Very humid. But anyway, so I put this together here. I'm sure you can see it. You put the dies in there, which are just nothing more than just like round dies. You put those in there, and you could do your bends, and most likely this is what I'm going to use for the rebar. So my rebar arrived from Home Depot. Let me show you what they sent me. Okay, so on the Home Depot site, rebar. That looks really nice, doesn't it? Only one problem. It's fiberglass. What kind of rebar is fiberglass? So, no sense sending it back. It was inexpensive. It did not state that it was fiberglass. It actually called it rebar. So, I'm sure I'll find a use for it in some project or whatever. But, anyway, guys, so there was, here's a couple other things that I had purchased and I just kind of put together. A shrinker and a stretcher, which when we start working on the 49 and I got to make sail panels, I have an English wheel that I need to get here also. I have that at my shop. But I'm going to kind of look at that English wheel and make a decision. Do we just get another one or do we work with that one? So I see that I'm a little out of frame here. Let me just fix my camera. Yeah, sorry for the confusing video today. All right, that's better. So, like I said, I didn't get a lot done, but I got things done that are going to help us moving forward. The shrinker and stretcher is something I got to play with. I do got to make a stand for it. So one of my other projects, I think I'm going to get one of my heavy semi wheels that I have in my scrap pile at the shop. Get it here. Weld a plate on there and make some kind of a stand where I can choose to just like say for instance this here, I could choose to I'll cut that at the bottom and put a receiver in the wheel and I could drop it down, nut and bolt, tighten, and use this for the day. Once I'm done with that, then I could pull that out and make a stand for the shrinker and the stretcher, and I could probably use that for the day. But I like to try to convert these to some type of maybe air, because it does take quite a bit of pressure sometimes to shrink and to into stretch. So you can get tired pretty quick trying to, if you're doing a lot of parts. And I guess that's it, guys. I don't think there was anything else that I pulled out of the shed. Just some odds and ends, nothing really much to talk about. I think that was it. But the main thing today was that Hemi. Let's see if we can get the Hemi back into the shot here. And there it is. So the next step with this is I'm going to get wheels for the dolly. I didn't want the wheels that they offered. They were steel wheels. They were cheap wheels. I didn't want them. I'm going to get a better quality wheel so this way it doesn't destroy my floor, and it's just easier to move around. All this front is going to come off for the simple reason that we're just probably not going to, well, we're probably going to use some of it, like the covers and things. But that water pump, obviously we're not going to use that. The balancer and all that, I don't know, because we need to convert the crank to threaded bolts, so this way we can put the flywheel on normally, not this disaster. And at that point, I think I'm just going to order a whole reciprocating kit, including new pistons, even though these appear to be new, and you can't feel really just a tiny, tiny ridge in here, like somebody has already done this. And the pistons are 60 over, so that's basically the max on this block. So hopefully we'll be able to just clean those up, put new pistons in, rings, crank, put a whole reciprocating kit, a balanced kit, of course. And just had a little research on that, see who makes the best kit for the, for a decent price. This is never going to see any crazy high RPM racing. It's basically going to just go into Model A and just cruise, just low-end cruising, low-speed cruising. But that's about it, guys. So I'm hoping next week to get the ramps here so I can get this lift going. And at that point, I was going to work on the rear today, but I'm really tired, and I think I've had enough of in here for now. And that was it. Well, let's talk about one more thing. A lot of times people want to purchase things, but they're just not sure about making purchases from certain companies. So, and nobody's paying me for this. Everything you see, I buy. So basically, I have a set of these wheel jacks, and can you see it? No, you can't really see them. So I'm gonna have to bring it in a little bit. Hang on, guys. Let me do some creative camera-try here. I know it's kind of a crappy video today, but I just wanted to touch base, let you see, all the stupidity of the day. So that's a wheel dolly. You know what? Let me just pick the camera up. All right, so I bought 4 of these, and believe it or not, I bought these on Temu. So, are they cheap? Yeah, they're cheap. Are they kind of strong? Yeah, they're good enough for what I'm going to do here. I mean, a set of Go Jacks, if you buy a full set, they're over $1,000, if not more. I think they're more than that now. But I bought these. You can see the yellow ones there. I bought those from Harbor Freight, and they're Daytonas. And I've had no problems with those. I mean, I moved the Chevelle around. I moved a lot of stuff around with those. So I decided to try Temu, just to see, if it's like an alternative, if you're going to buy something that you're not using or relying on, desperately relying on. Just something that'll work in here. Something that, God forbid it should fail. No one's going to get hurt. And that's about it. So I tried it. They were 2 for $123, no shipping. Along with that, I ended up, I think, getting a free magnet, like I need a magnet, and I got a free, like a little body stand, those folding body stands. And those haven't arrived yet, but they're on their way. This stuff came quickly, 2 days after I paid. 2 days it was here, and they were packaged well, and nothing came broken. You know, I see people complain a lot about Temu and even about Amazon and stuff like that, but I think it's all based on, you really need to know what you're getting. If you don't understand what you're buying, that you're buying a cheap, not necessarily inferior, but you're not buying the best of the best. You're buying something to get by. So I need those really for the coffin car in the next few weeks, just to finish up a few things and be able to bounce it around in here. Because as you can see, I got to redo the rear now, because I got a little too aggressive with it when I moved it out, when I was doing the when I was building the big black things there, the stands for the new lift. And I kind of pushed it a little too hard. And the way that I do my tacks is I don't tack heavy. I just tack just to keep things in place. So this way I can always just give it a little hammer wrap and it'll come right off. And in this case, let me make sure I'm in the camera here. I don't think I am. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Let's see here. Alright, sorry, like I said, sorry about the crappy video today, but, you know, yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at my monitor to see if I'm talking, if my neck is talking to you or my whole face is. So, I guess my welding project here went on hold. I did purchase a little something extra for the table here. I got 4 of them, and I got them. They're here. And I purchased these at Summit Racing. Well, they're packaged quite well. And I believe this is a Summit product. Yeah, this is a Summit product. So basically, I was looking at, and I got another idea that I think I'm going to show you guys today. So these are clamps. So I could put it, just drop it in this way, and I could clamp, vertically. I can take this apart, drop it into my table, and clamp horizontally. It's got this O-ring here, so you can set the depth of your clamp. You can take that off and put it on here. So, as I was doing all this, I came up with an idea, and to be honest with you, I don't know if it's going to work, but let's take a look. Let's do this together. So there's my Evolution saw that I really, really love. Worth every penny. If you guys need to purchase a saw, I highly recommend you spend the money, so you're only spending it one time on this Evolution saw. So I think this isn't going to work, but I'll show you the idea that I have. Let me just get this out. So what I'm going to build is something like this with the studs. So this way it'll drop into the table, and then these I'll move anywhere I need them to do the clamping. And I think that's going to be a big plus on my table. So I haven't seen anything like this that I can actually purchase. So we're just going to have to invent our own. And necessity is the mother of invention. So it works really good here. I think it'll work fantastic on the table. And it'll give me that direct force that I need sometimes in order to keep things square, to keep things from moving. And even in the cool down process, you don't want things to come loose too quick, because they can still kind of get wonky on you when you take the pressure off. So you want it to actually cool in a nice, tight fashion. So this way, nothing happens. So I got to figure out the rebar, being that Home Depot gave me a good screwing on that. Sent me fiberglass rebar. I don't know, I guess what's the fiberglass rebar for? I guess it's for, like, if you're pretending to do construction or something. I have no idea. What would you do with that? It's useless. I mean, there's no strength to it. It's fiberglass. But anyway, so yeah, you see what I mean about this? You got the ring there, so say I need to stop it, push it down if I need it to be closer to the down. and I really like the idea of this long stem. So I'm going to get some 5/8 cold rolled. I'm going to chop it. I'm going to get myself a flat bar. I'm going to find clamps like that, or I'll order replacement clamps for that. Maybe I'll just order a replacement for that, and then just basically chop, put 2 5/8 cold rolled studs on there, and I'll be done. 1, 2, 3. I think that's what I'm going to do if I can find that part separately. But anyway, guys, so sorry about the crappy video. Not much. It was more like just trying to get things in order, which they're not 100% in order yet. I still have to do a little bit after this video, but you know what, guys? I'm really tired. This thing beat me up. The heat killed me this week. So I think I'll just come in early Saturday morning, get everything really, really neat, and we'll start working on something. So this way there'll be a little more content of what's going on. Maybe we'll do the rear next week. I think that'd be a good idea. We'll move the car forward. We'll set up the camera in the back, and I'll show you how I align the rear and how I set the pinion angle and all that, and how we weld it. But the more I'm thinking about that, I'm wondering, do I go airbag? Maybe. So I might go airbag. So we'll see. We'll see next week. And I'll show you the weird things that I use to actually create my spring height and just the ability to have orientation of where everything's got to go. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please ask questions. Please, you know, like it or don't like it, whatever. Every comment is appreciated. I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully we'll have a lot more. We'll do a job together next week.